Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Daily Spread. It's been a lot of fun so far, a lot of insight that I've received, and I hope that you've got some gems and nuggets, or just a new sense of play, or a sense of openness and creativity and flow. If you want to follow along with the rest of these, I'm going to be continuing for the rest of the month. Feel free to join my Create Momentum Facebook group if you haven't already. I will put the link in the comments. Feel free to share if you have anybody who wants to come along for the ride as well. All right, so let's get started. Today's supplies, which may or may not get used. I've got my watercolors. I have some pearlescent acrylic ink. I have some carbon ink, a couple mermaid markers, some Stabilo Woody water-soluble crayons, and yeah, let's just see what happens. All right, here's the daily rundown. Page 1, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8, day 9, and day 10. Are we ready? All right, so I'm feeling like diving right in with some of my Stabilo pencils. And I am using the side just to get some different marks, And I'm gonna take it a little bit more slowly, I think. I'm feeling like moving a little more slowly today. So I'm just gonna take my time with that. I'm really enjoying this mix of texture. And I'm allowing myself today, since I'm moving a little bit more slowly, to kind of step back a little bit and feel into the marks and the page. So I'm moving a little bit more slowly, and then I'm kind of blurring my eyes a little bit. And feeling, I guess, from more of a, I don't know if I want to say visceral perspective, but I'm just kind of allowing myself to get a full body sense. So I guess that would kind of be visceral. Letting myself get a full body sense of this composition of this piece. And again, I'm limiting my time on this. I'm not planning to spend more than 10 or 15 minutes. So whatever happens, happens. Oh, I guess this is a water brush. And I'm going to use a little bit of this acrylic ink. I'm gonna kind of dab it around. And then I'm feeling like I'm gonna be using my fingers. So if you've followed my work at all, you know I have no hesitation with really getting in there. I don't mind getting paints and ink and stuff all over my hands, or even my clothes. I do a lot of shopping at thrift stores just so I don't have to be precious with what I'm wearing. I don't have to let what I'm wearing alter what I would otherwise do. And I'm enjoying how that is kind of smearing around with the Stabilo. Kind of feel like bringing that across here more. Bringing that across here. And there we go. There, and I'm feeling that. Oh, I've got some more up there, so I'm gonna kind of make some little marks with my finger. I just play. And I'm leaving the possibility open that maybe I don't completely cover this spread with water today. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I'm pulling out, actually I was gonna bring out this big brush, this Princeton Neptune number 18, which I have, and I'm feeling drawn to use this other little brush that I've got instead. So pulling out my watercolors and feeling into, I'm kind of feeling this, I want to say this is Rose of Ultramarine that I've got here. Maybe add a little bit of red to it. And now I'm just kind of feeling into the marks that I want to make. You can tell I'm definitely going a lot more slowly. And again, it's to allow myself to kind of get more in the flow, not flow, to be able to listen more. Sometimes when I go fast, it's honestly so that I don't have to consciously listen, so that I can move intuitively and not need as much of a conscious participation. But today I'm feeling more of a deliberate creation. I'm feeling more of a deliberate involvement with this piece. So. Just noticing. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to add a little bit of turquoise, which I'm just kind of mixing up on the other page. And feeling into this. I'm really liking how the brush is kind of separated, so I'm actually trying to maintain that because it's something I really like. So that's where I'm, not keeping it just because I want to be looser. I actually am trying to maintain that. And now I'm feeling into, again, what wants to come next. And I'm going through my little baggie here of Stabilo pencils. Oh, and I've got this gold one. I totally forgot about that one. So I'm feeling like I need a little bit of this purple. And I'm just making some marks here. And then I need some more in here. And I am kind of going mindless, I guess, which is interesting because I am being more deliberate, and yet it's not a mental process that I'm going through. It's nothing mental in terms of strategizing or planning. I really am just creating in the moment, getting a feel for which tool I want to pick up, and then picking it up and doing it. So and as I mentioned, I mean, these marks, if you've watched the other videos in the series or any of my other videos over the years, this is a lot more deliberate than my work sometimes is, where I just get into the creation. But from a, I guess, more energetic, more physically active perspective, where I really am moving around and moving the energy and generating a lot of momentum that way. And in terms of this create momentum theme that I came up with, it's more about creating the container as we go. So allowing the container to evolve, and maintaining, I guess, what they call the integrity of the container, because we are listening all along the way. Whether it's listening, from a more, I'm just going to move as fast as I can so my mind can't engage way, or I'm really loving this energy, I want to ramp it up way. We can also work with the integrity of the container by slowing down and just tuning in and seeing what happens next. And I'm really just feeling into, again, as I'm moving my hand, I'm kind of asking, where I need to move next, where I need to move my hand next. And I'm altering my marks a little bit. Just kind of, and sometimes, what I do is I test something out. So if I'm not sure exactly what movement that my hand wants to make, or what color I'm going to use next, I will start with something, and then if it doesn't feel right, I move on to something else. But again, I try not to get caught up too much in the questions, the logical, mental, need to know questions. Sorry about that, I just knocked my recorder there. And I'm feeling like a little more down here. And some over here. And a little bit up here even. So again, I have no idea where this is going. I just am creating. And this feels like it's connecting a little bit, so I'm just bringing that down. And then this is feeling like now it wants to extend up a little, so. Okay. And that feels good. Now I'm coming in with this gold Stabilo. And just adding a little bit more. Again, just as it feels good. I'm not forcing anything. I'm not trying to create a specific composition. I don't have a plan. Again, I don't have a plan or an agenda for this piece, so I'm not putting any responsibility or any expectation energetically on this piece. So I'm really letting it unfold the way it wants to, without saying, you have to hang in a gallery, or you have to make me money, or you have to perform in some way. You have to get me more likes on Facebook. I'm just allowing it to move on its own. And there we go. Just playing and moving. Connect these two. And you'll notice, sometimes I go back and I kind of adjust some marks that I already made. And I'm really enjoying the versatility of the Stabilo Woody pencil. Really just listening, and I think that's why I am quieter again today, is because I really am listening. And tuning in intentionally, checking in and asking, the energy of the piece, just asking myself what I'm being inspired to do next in terms of this piece. And create down here. And create some more up here. Just adding a little bit extra. And it's feeling actually like I'm pretty close for today, which is pretty cool. I'm going to bring this purple back in here. I feel like adding a little more up here. And a little bit more in here. And a little bit more here. And now I'm connecting these two. And it feels like I am doing a little bit more connecting here. And a little bit more over here. And I think that is where I'm going to stop. So this is the spread for today. And I'll zoom you in again. So it's funny because that spread actually took a lot longer. It's funny in this light how everything shows up when you get closer. See all the different texture of the watercolor, of the Stabilo. And I think those were the only two tools that I used today, were the Stabilo pencils and the watercolor. And with that, I will leave you. I'm curious how you experienced today's session, noticing now that it is complete for myself, and being aware that in general it was a quieter session, a slower paced session, and I left I created this container for us to create and then left the silence in a lot of places. So I'm curious how you experienced that, how you feel that it inspired or informed the work that you created, whether you were able to sink into that extra space or whether you needed to, stir up the energy a little bit more to create a little bit more movement in a bigger way as opposed to in this smaller, more quiet way. So feel free to let me know. Feel free to join the Facebook group if you have not already, and I will see you soon.